Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick, and I am working on the Worlds Within Worlds. Obviously, this is the book, and this is the next video that I'm doing that I started April 12th. So look at my dated videos and you'll see where it is, because I did one in between, not to confuse the issue. So what I've been doing excuse me, what I've been doing is I've been showing you how to literally paint with eyeshadow. One thing though, I wanted to jump back and I'm working on this bird out of Johanna Bosford, and that is the, no, Millie Marotta. I am so sorry, excuse me. Millie Marotta Tropical World, and this is the bird sitting in the bird nest. So if you want me to do this in video, go ahead and let me know. I've almost done this side of it. I've got to go ahead and finish the flowers here, then do the nest on this side, and then of course the bird. So let me know if you want me to do that in video. Just send me a note and I will do that for you. All right. So let's go with this now. This obviously is the moonscape with the trees. And on the earlier video, I went ahead and did the left-hand side of the moon. And did that in purple. My favorite color, by the way, purple and pink. And so I'm going to continue now. I'm going to do the boulders, and if I get far enough, I'll go ahead and start working on the trees. All right. So these are the brushes that I'm using. These are inexpensive brushes that I got at Walmart. You can see that they're various sizes. This is my Fav brush right here. It's my little guy here. Actually, it even looks like I did. I cut that one. Notice if you do cut your brushes, let me get there, cut it at an angle, and that way you'll have a nice little tip to go ahead and get into small places. All right, so that's one of my Favs. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good on that because I'm going to be using this so I can do detail. All right. And then the eyeshadow that I used happens to be by BH Cosmetics. I have no idea what their pricing is anymore because I bought these quite a while back. All right, let me get my pencils out of the way. I'm so excited. I've got 2 more sets of pencils coming in, and I can't wait. They'll be in within a week. I ordered a couple more Kirby books as well. So yeah, keeping up on a bunch of stuff. Okay, so here are my colors, my color palettes, and I'm going to be working with the bluish gray. So my grays are on this palette right here. You slide that over, because I know me, if I leave it sitting on top of that, I'm going to splotch. All right. So working on the boulders. Let me get some paper. Okay. So I'm going to wet my brush. Now I've got my water set to the side, just dumped a little bit of water into a cup. And then I'm going to go ahead and dip into the gray that I think I want to use. But I'm going to test it on my paper first, of course. Let's see how this gray looks. Yeah, actually, I think that's a good gray. It's not too dark, not too light. All right. Now, one thing, and I had mentioned this before when I was doing my last video, is I boo-booed a little and went over too much of the pink onto the boulders. Now, one thing really nice about doing this eyeshadow is with water is that once it gets into the paper, it really sets. So if you miscolor an area, it is going to be difficult to get out of there. So that is the one thing that you need to be more careful of. Let me get another area here. And of course, I'm going to mention that the beautiful music that you're hearing is Whispering's piano. David Nevue actually is the person that runs that business. And this is his song, actually, one of the ones that he's done. That's David Nevue, Nevue. I do pay subscription for this. I do not get paid by him to promote him. But you know that I love to have my piano music in the background. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wet my brush. Be sure also that you have a paper towel so that you can go ahead and dabble it. And if you do dabble it, be sure that you fold your paper towel several times so that you don't soak through. All right, excuse my arm while I reach for my gray, and I'm gonna just double check. Yeah, that's a little bit dry. And that is one thing that you need to be careful of, is that each color is going to react a little bit differently with the water. Some of it's going to powder a little more. All right, and now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and paint out of camera. Okay, just go ahead and swab that on there. Don't worry about the crumblies, those can be easily brushed off. And as you also notice, I'm taking the gray right on top of the pink where I want to progress it a little bit further. Now, if you want to test your brush as to how much color is going to come out, do it on your paper and then put it on your piece. This gray is going beautifully over the pink. And I really love that effect that it's having. There you go. So you can clearly see now the three colors, but it's still blending in, so that's what I like. Yeah, look how beautifully that's going on. Now, I've got a couple of thicker areas here. You do want to watch that. I don't mind that that happened, because I'll just blend that with my pencil when I get there. But for the most part, you want to leave this as more of a wash. There we go. And I love the way this color is going on, because it is going on with varied intensity. Now, a lot of times what I'll do is after I dip my brush into the eyeshadow, I'll go ahead and brush it on here so I can see what the color is going to be. And that is also building up a really nice area where I can get color from if I want. Yeah, I just love it to pieces how this is coming out. Let's see something. I'm gonna carefully brush away that extra stuff right now. Yeah, I ordered Castle pencils. That's what it is. Castle pencils and oh, I can't think of the other brand name, doggone it. Somebody asked me how many pencil brands I have. I've got like 5 or 6 now. And I sort them by color. Now this gray is a little bit darker than the pink, so you just want to make sure that you don't get dark splotches. And I am just barely touching things. Yeah, and I don't think I can go any further with that because that rock is stopping. And notice that I'm going a little bit on the pink. That's fine. Oh yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, this is bugging me. I'm gonna get my iPad and look and see what else I ordered. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Because if I don't find out... Oh, Shuttle Art. Yeah, Shuttle Art, 172 pencils. And then I also, like I said, I got... Let me double check that. And the Castle pencils. I'm looking forward to the 2 of them. Castle Art Supplies 120, Shuttle Art 172. So yeah, I'm gonna have 292 pencils coming in. That ought to keep me out of trouble. No, it won't. All right. Thanks for your patience, because that was really bugging me. All right. And besides, it's letting my gray dry. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, so that paper is still feeling damp, and I just want to hold off using any pencil on that for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thoroughly clean my brush. And I'm going to pop over to my brown. Let me double check my tray to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yeah, so here are my browns. And right now I'm looking at this brown, or even going a little lighter on this brown. The thing is, you don't want your eyeshadow to be too dark, because you want to be able to go back and add your pencil highlights. All right. And yes, to answer your question, the eyeshadow does come out pretty well out of the brush, so there's really not any problem with contamination or crossover. All right, so I'm gonna look at the browns now. And that's going to be probably a little too dark. So I'm gonna go on my lighter color. And that'll be this color. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. Let me see something here, one moment. I'm going to change brushes because I have this tip. It's a very well-defined tip on this particular brush. So I'm going to use that one instead of this one. That can sit in my water. And let me check one more thing on that other color that I was looking at. Actually, what I'm going to do, and this is another point to bring up, depending on the width of your brush is also going to determine how the color is applied. So, and I thought that was the issue. So when I was looking at these colors before and I felt that was too dark, my first brush was very pointy and it was concentrating. I know it sounds weird, but that's what it does. So I'm going to go ahead and actually use this darker brown, which is not coming out as dark as it originally was. All right. So let me come in a little bit more here. Actually, let me do it this way. Here we go. Oh, so anyway, as I was saying about Whispering's Piano, they do not pay me for promotion at all. As I've said many times, I pay them for the subscription. It's $30 for an entire year. Oh my gosh, it works out great. All right, so now you can see my brown. And what I'm going to do is make sure I pull any bleed overs off as quickly as possible before it dries. Because like I said, the wet eyeshadow does tend to stick a little more. All right. But that's why this pointier brush, width-wise, I don't know if you can see, it's not going to show you. Let's see if I can get that. Yeah, there we go. See how narrow that is? So even though it's wider, it's still narrow. And that is leaving a beautiful shade on there. Now I'm just going to use the corner because I'm just getting into that teeny tiny area. And don't worry if your brown comes out different colors. For example, it's coming out a little darker here because Kirby concentrated his lines. And also because it's a tree, a nature thing, you don't have to worry about it. As I've said to you before in other postings that I've done, nature is very forgiving when you're coloring. And the other thing I want to tell you is if you dab, your color is going to be a little darker, of course. If you swipe like you're painting, then your color will be a little lighter. So I'm dabbing now. I want that darker. All right, now I'm getting into some really teeny tiny areas here. I will go ahead and address that with color pencil because we're getting a little small. Yeah, I hit this one space. Yeah. And I'm going to go back over a couple of places because I do want that a little darker. Look at that. Isn't that neat? Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to show you this again. There's the brown that I'm using, and see how it's formed a little bit of a puddle in there? That's fine. That's the puddle that I'm dipping out of. See, it's coming up a nice, rich color there. So that's what lets me do those dabs on my piece. All right. And when I'm done, I'm just going to put my piece or my eyeshadow away because that will eventually dry. Let me see something real quick. And don't forget that I did tell you that your paper on the other side is going to crinkle a little bit. That's normal. Don't worry about it. You can just straighten it out when you're done. See, you're hardly even noticing it. It's just bowing just a teeny tiny bit. It will not interfere with you trying to color that next page. All right. Now, some of you have asked me why bother even doing a wash like this, and you don't have to. It's just a really neat way to create a slightly different look, because by having that base color, it gives you a lot of opportunities to go in and highlight. Let me erase that right away. There we go. And see, the other thing too is it really leaves, see, by dabbing that, let me see if I can even get closer for you. Yeah, you know I love to show you micro view. By dabbing that, see how it's left that little swirl of color? So yeah, that's the other neat thing that it does, is what it creates. It looks terrible close up, but when you look at it normal view, it comes out beautifully. See? All right. Notice I'm dabbing, I'm not dragging. And yes, I can be precise and get right by that bird without coloring it. See? And notice that I don't have to hang around a lot on a particular area. I get the color down and I move. Oh, I am so sorry, I tilted you. I just love watching the effect that comes up as I'm doing this. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a pretty good idea what it's going to do, but until you actually, you know, dab that on there and get that on there, okay, now these little teeny tiny areas here, I would be hesitant to do it with a brush. I mean, you can, but you're going to be better off getting a pencil that matches the brown. See? All right. So let me continue with the trees. Now, if I wanted to, I could have gone with a lighter eyeshadow. I just happen to like this particular brown. And then when I go to color with my pencils, then I can go ahead and do my highlighting. Now notice when I don't dab, see how this gets lighter? So when you dab, you get your little splotches. When you swipe, you get a whole lighter area. Oh my gosh, this song that's playing is my #1 favorite song. Ah, I love this song. It's called Tiptoe Dancer, in parentheses, Catherine's song, and it's done by Karen Marie Garrett, G-A-R-R-E-T-T. Oh my, I love this song. There's just something about it that just speaks to me. All right, and notice how this is a little lighter because I swiped. This is a little darker in spots because I dabbed. So you need to decide whether you're going to dab or whether you're going to swipe. In the larger areas, I tend to do mostly swiping. I dab a little, but I want to get that color down because then I'm going to go back in with a pencil and highlight and add my little touches. Now, could I leave the trees this way? Sure. I don't have to go back in with pencil. And in fact, there may be projects that you do that you just decide that you like it the way it is. You don't have to come back in with pencil. And you'll see that in a second when I pull out and show you this whole effect. Oops. See, I just pushed that away actually with my finger. Oh, I love this song. And that's the thing, guys, if you dab outside of the area or color outside of the area with your brush, you can just take a really quick, just wipe it with your finger real quick. If you catch it soon enough, you can just get rid of it. All right, so I'm gonna dab that a little there, dab it a little there. We're good to go. All right, one more tree. Now, there are two things that are affecting the color intensity of your brush with your eyeshadow. Number one, obviously, is where Kirby has drawn his darker spots, right? Just like that one right there. Number two is where I dab instead of brush. See, look at that. I can get right in between those flowers without any problem. And that, guys, is another reason why I love using this eyeshadow this way, is because it really picks up what the artist has done. And then you can add right on top of that. And if you load your brush with a little too much water, just go ahead and dry it out on your paper towel, and then go back into your eyeshadow and do your thing. Oh, this is just turning out so neat. I got a gap right here. I'm gonna hit that. There we go. See, when I go outside of the lines, how that picked up really quick with my finger? Like I said, if you catch it like instantaneously, you're good to go. Okay. Now, if you decide that you want to go back over a couple areas, once you've done your thing, that's fine. Now, if you have decided that you're not going to use color pencil on this, that's fine. Figure out your colors then by re-dabbing. See, now you want to dab because you've already got color there. So just re-dab, okay, if you aren't going to use color pencil. If you are going to use color pencil, then you want to sit tight because you're going to go and enhance the trees. All right, let me put my brush in the water. Let me close my eyeshadow palette. We're getting to be, what, 35 minutes now. All right, so let me pull out, and there are a couple things now that I want you to look at. Okay, the first thing, my rocks have dried, my trees have not. And given the length of this video, I don't want to go super long with this and drive you guys crazy. So I really am trying to shorten my broadcast a little bit into smaller chunks. But, you know, you can always stop them in the middle and then go back later. But anyway, so look at the overall now. I've got my gray working in here, okay? And I like the darker gray here. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to work with gray pencil on top of that sparingly because I've got a lot of gray on here now. Then, on my trees, I've got this brown. I've got it splotched the way I want, and I'm going to go in and work with that. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I will be making the trees, and I want you to think about this, the trees in the background a little darker because they're in the background. The trees in the front are going to be lighter. So it is entirely possible that I just may pencil color on these trees in the back and leave these guys in the front the way they are. You know, I may tweak them a little bit, you know me. But there are just so many things you can do with this eyeshadow by painting this eyeshadow. All right, so next time I'll be working on the tree leaves. Either I'll be working on the tree leaves or I will be coloring the rocks and the the tree bark. Then I'll have the bottom. Oh, I got a tree bark here I missed. I'll fix that little guy right there. So I'll get that. And I noticed there's some tiny trees here. That will be done by pencil. Let me pull you in. See these tiny trees right here? Yeah, so that obviously is pencil because that's going to be too much. Oh, look, there's a little turtle there. All right, so let me pull you out. So guys, I hope you learned a lot with this. I hope you enjoyed me showing you this. I just love this piece to pieces. I think it's turning out beautifully. Eventually, I'm going to be working on the starry sky. And hopefully by that time, my Posca pencils will be in, and then I can do some neat things with that. So yeah, that's it for this session. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. I kept it at 39-40 minutes, so that's good. All right, guys, give me feedback. And also, I need to ask you a specific favor. Please, please, please like my videos if you like them, because that moves me up in the search rank. And, you know, I'm really appreciative of that. All right, guys, this is ILene Vick for Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I am working on Kirby Roseanne's Worlds Within Worlds, and I'm specifically teaching you how to paint with wet eyeshadow. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great day. Thank you for joining me. Joyous, joyous coloring. Bye.